Folks, welcome back to the Shacknews stage here at Indie Heaven. I'm here with Paula and Vincent. How are you two? Are you enjoying your E3?
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, it's been great so far.
Okay. So for a quick thing, what are you guys bringing to show us today?
So we are bringing our first trailer for the game NeoCab.
Okay, excellent. And we do have that trailer right here, so we're going to toss it over there so you folks can check it out. Awesome trailer. So for folks, just, can you give me a quick elevator pitch about what your game is and what you do in it?
Yeah.
Please.
Sure. NeoCab is set in a near future world where the city has really been disrupted by an over-reliance on technology and AI, and you play as the last human Uber driver named Lena.
Okay.
And the thing about Lena is that when your competition is AI, what really makes you stand out is your ability to empathize with people's stories. So that's really like the bedrock of our game, is characters and emotions and storytelling.
Okay, awesome. Now, what is the gameplay kind of like? Are you just having these conversations? Are you driving at the same time? Like, what is actually going on in your game?
Yeah, the gameplay is fairly intimate. You're having a one-on-one conversation with someone as you drive them to their destination. And we try and cut around the car in a very cinematic style, sort of similar to like movies like A Night on Earth, or what were some of our other examples I remember?
Taxi Driver.
Okay, Taxi Cab Confessions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I think we're all familiar with that.
Yeah, it has a very Taxi Cab Confessions feel, but it allows us to tell the story about what could potentially happen in the future from that vantage point.
Okay, interesting. Now, what are some of the themes that you folks are tackling with this game? Because it seems like you're having a very human game almost.
Well, I think we're trying to talk about the importance of empathy in a world where that is devalued. Okay. Where making money or being efficient is more important than just taking a second to connect with a person that's in front of you. And thinking about, like, you meet people at any moment in their lives in this game, and they're literally on their way to anywhere. And what can you learn about that person, about where they're going and where they might go next?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and there's you drive for a car company called NeoCab, and it is the last car company that employs human drivers in our city. There's a larger organization called Capra, and they have an automated fleet.
All right.
So the people that come to your car service are typically people wanting to search for a human connection, or maybe they're doing something that they don't want to be under surveillance.
Right,
So everybody has a really unique story to tell.
Okay.
And, for the 5-10 minutes of which it takes for a ride, you find out about a lot of their life story.
Okay, interesting. Now, is there an overarching narrative in your game, or is it just vignettes with each person in your cab?
There's both. There's an overarching narrative, and our vignettes are kind of softly related in terms of the passengers that you meet, they help you on your like character journey, but there's also a larger mystery to solve.
Okay,
and some of the passengers that you pick up have clues to this mystery, and some of them have clues to kind of your inner mystery, if you will, about who Lena is and who she's going to become in this game.
Okay.
So every passenger you pick up takes you somewhere, but some are related to that like a overarching story.
Right.
And some are more about Lena's kind of like internal.
Okay, interesting, awesome. So with a lot of narrative-driven games, it's kind of difficult to balance narrative and gameplay. What have you folks done to help balance that?
That's a really good question. Let me think. Do you have a quick answer for that one?
Well, we are always relating the game to Lena's emotional state.
Okay.
And quickly we've kind of symbolized that through a piece of technology we call the field grid. And it's this wearable biotechnology device that's constantly monitoring Lena's emotional state, because the thing about being a service worker is that you have to not only like cater to the person that you're dealing with, what they might want from you, but there's a cost to that in terms of how is it going to make you feel to be nice to this person who's being rude to you.
Right, okay.
And that might give you your star rating or your tip, but it's going to cost you something, as a human, cost you something emotionally.
Right,
And the field grid is a way we've conceptualized to visualize this.
Right.
So.
And as a player, you're constantly balancing the star rating you get from your job and also your own emotional well-being as a character.
Right.
That's interesting.
And so, there are certain times in the game where, you're choosing dialogue, but then an option is just not available to you. And we always show it to the player to let them know this is the option that you could have chosen. But it's important to us to let them know that, because sometimes, we've all been having, we've all had crazy long days.
Right.
And sometimes that you're just incapable of certain, thoughts or, bits of dialogue.
Right, like you know what you should say to keep this person from like going crazy, but you're just too tired to do it.
Right,
and we try to replicate that in the game.
Okay,
exactly,
wow, that's actually fascinating. Yeah, does this mean there's a lot of story branches that can go multiple ways? Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And we have a lot of fun with that. I mean, given that you play out a series of nights over the game, and you have a bunch of different passengers, or as we call them, packs, who are available to you at, only at limited times. So at the beginning of the night, you might only have these 3 characters, and as the night progresses, they move on with their lives, and so you may only see people once, you might see other people 2 or 3 times.
Okay, awesome. So where did this idea come from? It's such a unique pitch for a video game. Like, how did this come to pass?
A lot of the original idea came from our creative director, Patrick Ewing, who also worked on Firewatch.
Okay.
And he was part of that team and then assembled all of us together to make this game. And a lot of it came from his experience living in the Bay Area and seeing the huge tech boom up there.
Right.
And then from conversations that we've all started having with Lyft drivers, with Uber drivers, and realizing, just trying to think about what kind of game mechanics could stream out of that, and also what kind of stories could come out of that. Because sadly, a lot of the Uber and Lyft drivers' lives are pretty gamified.
Yeah, no, it's a lot actually. Yeah.
They have to make sure they maintain a 5-star rating. If they drop even to 4, then they sort of get put on notice, and if they drop lower than that, then they're cut off.
Right.
And so and then they constantly have these like surge pricings and also like little competitions between drivers and whatnot. So it's sort of like the game mechanics were really kind of built into that experience. But when you just talk to someone in the car, you don't think about that. You just think about what's their story and what do they have to tell.
Right.
So that all fed the inspiration for the game.
Okay, awesome. Now, for folks who want to learn more about your game, where can they go to find more information about it?
Well, they can wishlist the game on Steam now.
Okay.
Or they can visit our website, which is neocabgame.com.
Okay. Is it available now? Can people go out and play?
It's not available right now.
Okay. Is there a release date or anything like that for it yet?
No, not quite yet.
Okay. We're going to keep it nice and vague.
In the near future.
All right, awesome. That is fantastic to hear. Vincent, thank you so much
for
joining on. Paula, it was a great pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to jump into another game, so stay tuned.